Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Bethany and today I'm going to pick out a July TBR with you. Okay, so for my July TBR, just like last month, I'm just gonna do the three kind of like reading challenges. So I'm doing the buzzwordathon, which I've honestly been really terrible at reading those books, but it's fun to pick them. So every month I'm picking the book with that buzzword, and that one's with Books and Lala, the buzzwordathon. And then I'm doing Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, which I've actually been a little bit better at doing that one, although I'm behind, so I didn't start the book that I put on my TBR for last month, which is completely fine. So it's been kind of a slow few months, but I'm enjoying what I'm reading this month. I enjoyed a lot of what I read in May, so I'm okay with that. It's totally fine. I've read more this year than I have in several years already, thanks to BookTube, so I'm not worried about it. Like, I don't feel like I'm behind. I do struggle with like making a TBR and then not reading that. I know it's just a pile of possibilities, but my brain is just, I have a hard time with it sometimes, so I'm trying to just do a short little TBR to leave room for the other books that I want to read, or maybe I won't even read the short TBR. You never know. So I'm currently reading a book that was on my June TBR that is really good. I'm definitely going to finish it. And I have two others from my June TBR that I really want to read. So I'm still probably going to be reading those into July. And then I'm going to just choose my author for trying a new to me author from that cup. And yeah, so I'm going to have 3 prompts for July's books. Okay, before I get started on my TBR, I want to feature a picture book that we have checked out from the library right now that I really loved. So that is All Things Bright and Beautiful, and this is by Cecil Francis Alexander, illustrated by Bruce Wheatley. And this is like, I think, a hymn, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh yes, so it says one of the most beloved hymns ever written. And it didn't sound familiar to me, but it does have the hymn in the back, so we tried to sing that, and I really like it. All Things Bright and Beautiful, and it's just a really pretty story about nature and God's creation, and it's short and sweet, and I just really liked it, so I wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, so this is like a week later from filming this video for the first time, and when I went back to edit, I realized that I guess I didn't press record for the main part of the video where I picked my entire TBR basically. So I'm jumping back in today to share those with you. We're about a week into July now, so I'm going to tell you what I'm currently reading and then what the rest of my planned TBR is for July. So to start with, I'm going to go over what I'm currently reading. I actually have 2 books going right now. So the first one is The Places We Sleep by Carolyn Brooks Dubois. I have a hard time saying that last name for some reason. Let's see if we can focus. And so this book is a middle grade novel in verse, and it's so good. I'm about halfway through, and I'm really enjoying it. It is about a girl in junior high during 9/11, and I'm kind of like, I didn't really think about this before I picked it up, but it's very relatable because I was in 7th grade when 9/11 happened, and so it's just kind of crazy to kind of go back to that time and to realize how that kind of like affected my generation. So anyway, it's really good. I really like it. The other one that I'm have already started. Oh, okay, I forgot. Okay, this was my try an author for June, and I just didn't get around to it until July. So that's from this mug up here, where I draw an author that is like an anticipated author for me, that I have multiple books from them saved as that I want to read. And so I drew her last month, and then this month I drew Amanda Cox. And so this is the one I had on my shelf, which is The Edge of Belonging by Amanda Cox, and I have already started it as well, and I'm really loving it. This is a Christian fiction. It's kind of feeling like a family mystery, maybe some romance, although I don't know yet. But it's just so good so far. We're 2 timelines, so present timeline with Ivy, and then I think it's 1994 timeline with a man, Harvey. Okay, sorry, I had to find out his name. So Harvey, in 1994, homeless man finds a newborn infant, which is Ivy, and who's abandoned, and I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen, but basically he's taking care of her and then somehow gets her adopted. Like, he doesn't adopt her, I don't know. She, in the present timeline, is just trying to kind of investigate like where she came from. There's a lot of good faith elements in it, and I'm really enjoying it. I have for Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, this was the book that I had picked in June, and I still haven't started it. So this is rolling over to July for that. And I think that the prompt was like the number of letters in the title, half as many as my previous month. So I'm going to be doing that. And then for July's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, it is a book in a different country or world from your previous book. So this is set in the US. And for that, I chose Fox by Nadine Brandes. So this is historical fantasy, which is new for me, but I'm kind of excited about. This is following the son of Guy Fawkes in England, but in this fantasy world where there's color magic and masks. That is my choice for Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. And then the last one, oh, that's not true. Okay. The last physical book I have is for the buzzwordathon, and this month for July is a weather-related word. So for that, I chose Amy Snow by Tracy Reese, and this was a recommendation from my mom. She really enjoyed this book and recommended it. I don't know a lot about it, but I feel like it's going to be somewhat similar to the Amanda Cox book, because I do believe this is about an abandoned infant as well, Amy Snow, and then like her trying to investigate her past. And this book is so heavy. It is kind of chunky. It's like 550 pages, I think. So I mean, that's bigger than the rest of my stock, but it just feels really heavy. So I'm excited though. I like getting recommendations from family, from my mom, so I'm looking forward to that. Okay, now the last book. So the last one on my TBR for July is Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is for my in-person book club for this month, and I have read a couple of Taylor Jenkins Reid books, and I'm not a huge fan, so I'm not really looking forward to this one. I also have heard that it's just very tennis heavy, which I don't know if I'll be into, but I'm gonna give it a shot and read that for my in-person book club for July. Okay, so that's my short little TBR for the month of July. Like I said, I'm doing a little bit of catching up. Speaking of catching up, I know that Krista with Books and Jams is doing a book of the month catch-up-a-thon this month. I think it's like 2 weeks in July. So I might be reading some book of the month books as well this month for that. We'll see kind of what's going on with me those 2 weeks, but I do have quite a few book of the month books on my shelves that I have not read, and I actually am getting a box this week that I did a couple of add-ons, so I'm gonna have even more, plus a brand new one. So I will probably do that. I might do a separate video though, because I have no idea what books I might be reading from that list. Other than that, I am going to just try to read the ones that I showed you today, and then anything else that just I'm in the mood to read this month, and then I'll be back to share those with you at the end of the month. So thank you so much for watching today. Let me know what you plan to read in July. I'd love to hear that. Let me know if you have read the books that I plan to read in July and your thoughts on those. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon. Bye.